Welcome to Smash Right. I am Paul. This is Justin.
No introductions are needed.
And today we are reviewing, I guess that it's a cult classic now.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Today we're reviewing Puppetmaster. And okay, this is a break the plot down because this kind of had me all over the place.
We start with the two guys coming for the old man. The puppets are moving about. They're trying to warn him. And he keeps assuring them that it's fine, that he'll keep them safe, and he loads them into a case and stashes them into a wall. Just as before they can knock down the door, he shoots himself in the head.
Bang!
And we jump ahead a number of years, and we meet the psychics. A reader on the boardwalk, the pervy couple, and a guy asleep. Having a nightmare of a man shooting a woman, waking up with leeches on his stomach. Who are contacted by an old acquaintance, Neil. When they come to him, though, they find him dead.
Well, I thought the wife reached out for them to do a funeral.
Well, no, they all kind of had visions of him calling to them.
Oh, okay, gotcha, yeah.
And they get there, they find his wife. They didn't know he was married. And like, I was waiting for you. And they were told, she was strictly told to not bury him until they arrived.
Right.
And they test him to make sure he really was dead and everything. They all start to settle in.
Yeah, because they
She's the voodoo woman, Carlisle, spikes him in the heart with a stick.
Yep, he's dead. You lost your notes there?
Well, no, I'm just trying to jump back to where I was. Yeah, you're trying to catch up. Where are your notes, Jack? And you throughout the dinner, throughout the day and everything, you're talking about tearing apart the hotel and looking for something.
Right.
And you find out that the man Alex tells Mrs. Gallagher that basically what happened was a few years back they'd all gotten together and they were going after the secrets of someone called the Puppetmaster. And they could bring the power of which can animate inanimate objects.
Right.
And that night, they all start dying.
Well, now, yeah, so the puppets...
Tumbler kills Diana, Bleach Woman kills Frank, Blade and Pinhead work in unison to take out... I wrote Dana. I think it's supposed to be Carlisle.
Yeah, yeah.
And Alex and Mrs. Gallagher try to escape, and they find all the dead people dead in the dining room with the puppets around them, and Neil, who's been resurrected himself in similar fashion, and he assaults the puppets and he even throws one aside because he wants to test his new powers on the bodies
puppets
instead of puppets.
Yeah,
he's tired of the puppets and he wants to move on to dead corpses. And he throws the puppet aside and he knocks down Mrs. Gallagher, and they all look at the Gallagher, looking around like they're all like assessing the scene and everything. And they manage to get Neil off of Alex because Neil's so much stronger now in his dead state.
Right.
And they eventually trap him in an elevator with the puppets, and the puppets kill him. And then next day, you see Mrs. Gallagher showing Alex off and everything. And she picks up the stuffed dog that Carlisle had with her. And when she gets to the top of the stairs, the dog is reanimated, showing that she's the puppet master, and we cut to black.
And that's how the film ends. Now, my God, we know that this film has spawned too many sequels.
So many sequels.
And we know they go up and over and beyond how strange they can be. I'll be honest, when I picked this movie, it's been a really, really long time since I watched it. So
I had never seen it. This is my first time watching Puppetmaster.
Okay, so
I was never able to find this movie.
And now it's on Peacock.
Yeah, that was on Peacock.
And now it's on like Tubi too, as well, I think.
I think some of them at least are.
Yeah. Now, so I had to watch this to really refresh my memory. Not because I probably haven't seen this film since I was like 15 years old. And even then, I couldn't remember much about it. My God, my view and my memory of watching it the first time this time is completely different.
It is an interesting premise of this old man and the ability to reanimate or animate inanimate objects and everything.
Right.
And you had all these psychics coming together. Granted, some of these psychics just seem pointless.
Which one was the most pointless one?
Dana, maybe? Or her husband? 'Cause I don't even know what her husband does.
Well, it wasn't that. There was the couple that were like, they touched each other and they could see a vision or something?
Well, Dana was able to experience emotions through objects. Like, what was the emotional significance of this object kind of deal.
So, like, if, like, you had
Like, when she was laying on the bed and she knew who boned down on that bed.
Right.
And she could experience things that happened in the bathtub or anything like that. But what did he do?
That's what I'm trying to think. Like, I don't think I think he enhanced her power, maybe?
I don't know.
Or he was, like, there for the free ride? I mean, what can you really say about him? Like, he
was there?
Yeah, he was there. Now, the puppets.
I don't understand the leech woman. Like, it's a cool puppet, but why leeches? Like, what is the deal with the leeches?
I mean, I know they just suck your blood, but they'd
take dozens of them to really kill you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe one, but it would take you about 20 hours or so. It would take a while.
You would die of being annoyed with it more than kill you. I mean, doesn't she, like, put them in somebody's mouth? Maybe they choke on them?
Well, yeah, but she's not doing that anymore, really, except for the Neil at the end, I think.
That is true. My God. These puppets.
Yeah, it's a creepy, like, Blade's obviously the best. I don't think there's an argument there.
No, yeah, he was the ringleader.
Blade's the coolest.
Yep. Pinhead was the muscle.
Yeah, which is just, that was weird seeing the fight between Pinhead and Carlisle.
So these scenes with these puppets, they go back and forth like, okay, you expect me to think that a grown person.
Yeah. Like, they're like, the puppets are stronger, but it's like still like.
But they're so like small.
They're really, really small.
And here's the thing: you see in the scene, like, forgot who it was, but I know it was one of the female characters. She picks him up and just throws him across the elevator or something. Like,
yeah, Carlisle was chucking him around, but Pinhead broke her leg, so she can't stand up, and it's.
But you can.
Did he though? Did he really break her leg?
Yeah, like the acting was stiff on some of these scenes, and I get it. This is what, like 85, 86 or something like that.
Yeah.
And my God, but like, you expect me to believe that you can still defeat this puppet laying down?
Like, you got this argument with Chucky a lot. I find it's 89.
80. Oof.
You get this argument with Chucky a lot in his, like, it's a doll, pick it up. But do you ever see a Chucky doll? Chucky doll comes up to my knee.
And you know what? They have established...
That's the size of a small child.
Yeah. And they have established, like, Chucky in that sense, you know, he's every man. He's a man in the doll.
Yeah.
Here, this is just...
But he never does anything like acts of power.
Yeah.
He does a lot of surprise attacks and takes you down from above.
Right. So here, like you said, you breaking her legs. Kick him. Like, you could have just kicked him like a football. And
like, that does really hard to move. Like, these dolls are very, very small.
Yeah, and they're smaller than Chucky. So it's like, you can't even give them the Chucky argument.
Yeah.
Some of them are barely past like the size of a shoe. And it clarifies that. They want the puppets to be strong, but then they show other scenes where they're being thrown like, you know, like a rag.
Yeah.
Well, which one is it? Like, what are you giving me? You can't make me believe that the puppet is so strong, but then he can easily get picked up and thrown around like he's trash.
Because, like, why aren't you just picking it up then?
Exactly. How long was this film? Because
it's not long. It's
it felt longer.
An hour and a half.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. It felt longer. Now I get it. When you're talking about cult classic films, you know, this was like, I guess, a failure. but then it became a cult classic and basically means that.
Well, I mean, yeah. Look at this picture.
Okay.
Well, no, these are action figures. Never mind. These are replicas. I thought they were showing a good size of it all.
But
I mean, they kind of are. Look at that doll. That is a really small doll.
Yeah, like he's barely like even the size of a guy's chest.
I mean, like you can get away with Blade on this because Blade's packing. He's got a knife.
Well, no, see, like you could have Blade like do a sneak attack.
Yeah,
and he could roll up and cut somebody's Achilles heel.
He cuts her heel. He attacks you from above, kind of like Chucky. Like Chucky does a lot of surprise attacks on you.
But then, like you have Pinhead is the muscle. He doesn't have that surprise attack. He has strength, but you can still pick him up and throw him like he's nothing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it that they are still puppets.
They do look good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They look incredible. We're shitting on the puppets. They do look incredible.
Yeah. Now, I'm shitting on how they use the puppets rather than the puppets themselves. Yeah, Blade. I mean, that Blade. You look at Blade like hands a hook, then he has a knife. The skull-like face. Yeah. That is awesome.
The trench coat and the hat going.
Yeah.
With like,
he is sharp. There's no denying that he is sharp.
That is a sharp. He is sharper than me.
Oh,
I'm okay to admit that. That puppet's
Tumbler. Tumbler was the
drill. The one with the drill.
And who did he kill?
Dana.
How did he kill her?
When she's looking under the bed, he runs at her and spikes her in the face.
Okay, now see, like that kill. I think the only real puppet I have a problem is how they, I guess, portrayed Pinhead.
Well, yeah, him and Leech Woman is because I don't understand Leech Woman. Like, why is she?
And she takes a lot of gargling them up. Yeah. Too. Like she doesn't like rapid fire. She's like.
Yeah, like, I don't understand.
You're like, are you going to spit one out finally?
I generally don't understand the leeches. Why is it leeches?
Why leeches? Like any other insect.
Yeah, like why can she rapid fire bees?
Yeah, because I mean, if you're not allergic to bees, but more they sting you, the pain eventually will be unbearable. So there's only 4 puppets in here. Tumbler, Blade, Pinhead, and the Leech Woman.
No, there's that one with the spinning multi-faces going on. He's kind of just a spectator, though.
Yeah, I think he was always aimed as the Joker, they call him.
Yeah, he has the divine comedy masks.
Yeah,
the frowny face and the smiling face kind of deal.
So,
I really like the twist because it had to have been Mrs. Gallagher, who's been the Puppetmaster throughout this entire movie. She's the one who woke Neil and kind of setting everything in motion.
But she made it such a good job to believe that she was just...
Yeah, even like Carlisle even kind of calls her out into that, unless it's Mrs. Carlisle. And she does enough to get Alex's trust.
Right. So, the whole focus is on Neil, and I'm sure he was some type of villain, but he thought...
Yeah, I think toward the end he was starting to break off the leash, and she was losing control.
Yeah, so she, it made sense. I do think, like, keeping her as the good character, a victim, too, literally until the final seconds of... I think that ending
that worked good. Really well. Yeah.
That, because you almost had to really go back and think of what you just watched.
Yeah.
Even, like, with me, I was watching it, and it caught me completely off guard to where I had to go back. And it was like, wait.
Rewatch everything she did.
Yeah, and even then, like, we talked about it over a couple of text messages, because I was like, I'm confused. What exactly? That's a good ending.
Yeah.
Overall thoughts on this film?
It's entertaining, despite its flaws. It is entertaining. The kills are good. I'm going to give it a B.
B.
In the middle of a B. 85, 84. Maybe even 83%, somewhere there.
I don't know how much rewatchable power this film has.
That's true. Maybe B. Let's knock it down B minus. There's some entertainment here. First watch viewing was worth watch.
I'm giving it a C. And I maybe only watched this film once or twice before, many, many years ago. And I have to look at it as, this is not what I remember. Maybe I watched a Puppetmaster 5 or something. I don't know. I'm just throwing a number out there. But I overall have to give this a C, maybe 75%. I thought it was average. I thought it was good for like a classic cult following type of thing. And the way they portrayed the puppets was much different the way I had it. The kills were okay. The saving grace for me to make this film a C, 70, let's say C minus at 75%, is probably the ending. Because you're watching it. And I don't know, maybe because it seemed like the film was dragging at times for me.
Yeah.
That you kind of lost focus.
The ending was really great. I do enjoy the design and the look of the puppets.
Yeah, the puppet,
the kills were alright. Some good kills.
Even how like they made the puppets move was like cheesy, but it was still good.
Stop action going on.
Yeah. I just didn't like how they really... They said the plot dragged, and then how you like definitely with Pinhead being questioned, he's the muscles, but you're getting him pushed around with ease to establish that you can just throw these suckers. Yeah, they can get back up, but you can just like, okay, I waste 1.1 ounce of energy throwing you. I can't take you seriously.
Yeah.
So I'm giving it a C minus. I know it spawned like 1,000,000,001 sequels. I don't know if I have it in me to...
No, I'm not going. I'm happy ending this year.
Well, the good thing is we're booked up with reviews, not to worry about Puppetmaster 2 anytime soon.
Oh, God. What's the last sequel was called something like Puppetmaster Axis of Evil. I don't want to watch that.
Don't worry. We got many more films to review before we worry about... I mean, it's just... This was not what I remembered. So I got to give it a C. So C, B...
Minus.
B minus. But until next time, bye-bye.